While Marvel Studios expected The Marvels to blast off to higher box office last weekend, the Captain Marvel sequel from Nia DaCosta still topped the box office for the weekend and officially became the highest-grossing theatrical release of all time by a black woman director at $110 million. In its first 3 weekdays of release, The Marvels has added more than $7 million domestic to its coffers, and at least as much internationally. But that still puts the film at perhaps $125 million as the early preview screenings for Trolls Band Together and The Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes roll out Thursday night. This competition will make it hard for The Marvels to hold on to a large percentage of its audience heading into its second weekend. The Hunger Games prequel is tracking toward a $100 million debut to top the weekend box office, while the Trolls sequel already has a head start with $70 million in its international coffers heading into the weekend and eyeing a $35 million domestic bow. Which all adds up to The Marvels probably taking third place worldwide, and possibly third place domestically as well unless the film surprises with a miraculously strong second weekend hold. Sadly, the B grade from audiences via CinemaScore, lack of strong or rising positive buzz among the mainstream public, and the competition this weekend and the next, when Wish and Napoleon arrive to further eat into audience demographics, all suggests The Marvels will probably suffer atypical or worse declines in the weekends ahead. It's a shame, in light of how fantastic the movie is. I'd like to hope for an Elemental-style long-run situation developing, but there doesn't seem to be the numbers anywhere to indicate such a thing happening. Unless Marvel employs some outside-the-box promotions to rally audiences to the film, such as reaching out to Taylor Swift for some sort of mutually beneficial scenario as I suggested previously. It's starting to look increasingly like The Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes might wind up winning the month of November in both global and domestic box office. Lionsgate would obviously love to see this film launch as profitable a trilogy as the original The Hunger Games, which brought in billions in box office and merchandising. But we are in a very different type of place in cinema history nowadays, with both theatrical and home entertainment undergoing an evolution of both viewing habits and technologies, so it's all uncertain. For comparison, and as a sign of just how bad things are in 2023 for box office, the previous franchise low for a domestic opening gross in the Hunger Games franchise was $102 million for Mockingjay Part 2 back in 2015. This weekend, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is expected to make only about half that much. What looked like a sure thing for The Marvels to dominate the November holiday window and play well into December is now turning into a "what went wrong" scenario.